All right, what up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Living the Dream podcast. Today on the show, we are talking about doing what impacts people. And I want to talk about this today because I was hanging out with my brother yesterday while he was day trading. I watch him, kind of coach him, kind of learn while he's day trading because I also want to be a day trader one day. That's going to be one of my main revenue streams. And in doing what impacts people in business and life, my brother and I were thinking about creating mastermind. So I have the creative deal makers mastermind where I like to bring people together to make creative deals that will change their life, such as forming a joint venture, such as getting a capital partner to buy some real estate, getting a capital partner to buy a business, or just getting kind of using group economics to buy assets, such as like an ice machine, a vending machine business, kayaks, if you will, and renting out the kayaks. That's something I've been talking about with a couple people recently. So that's where it showed up in my life. Kind of in my mastermind, I go with impact first. And I want to give you guys an example of this because in entrepreneurship, they talk a lot about charging really high ticket prices for stuff, especially in the coaching world, because you can and people will pay, but you need to target a demographic that can pay. And leading with impact in my head was, and some coaches would say this is a limiting belief. This is me kind of holding myself back. I don't think that's what it is, mainly because I plan on having a second offering that is way more high ticket to scale the business. But initially, I'm like, if I can create a business right now that helps me replace my W-2, puts me in a position to help people, which is what I love to do, and is geared towards me 3 years ago, who really couldn't afford these higher ticket coaching programs, but I can still give them the help and the resources they need as long as they take the action, which, let's be real, that's the differentiator in all of these coaching programs. Do we have somebody who's willing to take the action? Which is also why some people might charge high ticket prices. When you charge high ticket prices, you get more committed people. When you get more committed people, you get a higher success rate, right? So anyway, in my mastermind, I priced it at $40 a month, $480 a year, because I'm targeting that person who is me as a sophomore in college and can't afford anything, who is me as a freshman in college and was like really stuck in his mind about money, like didn't understand how money flows and all the creative ways you can get money. And so was really nervous to put any money out there. Also didn't have any money. So I'm making it for that person because that person can easily work a 10-hour shift on the weekend and pay for this mastermind, or a 10-hour shift, 10 hours of a shift throughout the week and pay for this mastermind. For example, with my work study, I would have been able to pay for this mastermind with my work study. And through this, I will not only be able to replace my W-2, I will create coaching jobs. I will create an affiliate sales program, as well as be able to pour back into marketing to reach more people. So that's what I mean when I say focus on impact. I took care of myself with this proposition, but I'm also taking care of the client. And if you can't get $40 a month, I can help you get $40 a month for free by helping you apply at like In-N-Out or something like that. And that's where it's like, you just have to humble yourself a little bit. And if you're not willing to work a job to both give yourself a little extra cash flow and pay for the mastermind, then you might not be willing to take the action, right? And then, of course, that's where the free stuff comes in, where it's like, I have the podcast, I have my time and energy, but that comes out at, that's limited free. Like that, I don't just give all of that away for free, but it's like, I'll do a little bit with people, like have first calls and stuff, maybe even second calls for free, just because I love helping people. But the mastermind is really where it's like, for an affordable price, we are going to transform your life. And then once we transform your life, and you come in the mastermind paying $40 a month, and we get you to 5K a month, 10K a month, 20K a month in businesses and assets. At that point, there'll be a higher ticket offering where it's like, all right, now let's scale this. Let's also create your ideal life. So you've spent so much time building kind of assets and building this wealth, but are you happy? And if you are, great. If you're not, I also have a community of people striving towards happiness and striving towards giving back and impacting people in a way. And that'll be the higher ticket offering, where we're all doing the same thing in the creative deal makers mastermind, but with a different focus, because we've gotten our balance sheet under control, if that makes sense. So that's how I kind of am leading with impact in my life. my whole creative deal makers mastermind was like, how can I impact that person who is usually overlooked? That was the whole idea of the mastermind. And with my brother's mastermind, he was like, the thing that works is one-on-one coaching. It's a trading mastermind. And so he was like, one-on-one and small group coaching is what works. So I'm going to do that. And there are a lot of trading masterminds that don't have that. They kind of have you just watching the trader. They'll have a course, they'll have some videos, they'll have community kind of accountability, but they won't have that one-on-one mentorship, that small group mentorship. And Theo was like, I'm going to do that. Why? Because it's leading with impact. Another place where it has shown up in my life is my desire for financial freedom. So I can give my time, energy, and effort freely, as well as focus it on where I want to focus it, which is not alleviating poverty, but increasing wealth and abundance across the world such that everybody's baseline is middle class America. So that's where it has shown up in my life. That's where it does show up in my life every day. My focus is financial freedom for myself and my family, then increasing wealth and abundance such that the baseline is middle class America across the world. And where do I want it to show up in my life? I would say focus action wise, and like my goalposts are focused on impact, but my day to day and my demeanor can sway from impact to selfish, from impact to selfish, from selfish to impact. And so with that, I really want to, just kind of keep my goals in front of me. Again, it comes back to the essence statement. I've written it out a little bit. I need to finish it, but I want to read it to myself and I want to look over it 2 to 3 times a day. And when I feel myself floating towards selfish, I want to listen to it again and listen to it again, because I think that's what will kind of shift that focus and get it into your subconscious, so it's the default. So I really want it to change in my demeanor and just how I take action. Like when you take action on a massive scale, you get massive results. And I think a lot of times my upper limit problem, my fear, can stop myself from taking that action, right? And that's something I got to deal with me. So my demeanor in dealing with other people, as well as my demeanor in dealing with me. And how can you apply it to your life? Start measuring impact in your life. How you impact yourself, because I think you have to lead yourself. You have to impact yourself before you can go impact other people. But then measure how much you're actually impacting other people and in the way you were created to impact other people. So some people might be at a job like me, a sales job, right? Where you are impacting other people, you're putting together hackathons, or you're a part of the process of putting together hackathons to train developers. But is that how you were made to impact people? Personally, that is not how I was made to impact people. And so it's out of alignment with who I am. And it's probably why my demeanor is a little messed up. I'm not willing to step out of that for fear of my lack, not fear of my lack of ability, but I have a perceived lack of ability to produce 4,000 a month right now if I quit my job. And it's like, because of that, I stay in my job so I can pay my bills. And so there's some like self-confidence there. There's some knowledge there. And there's also some execution there that just practically needs to happen. And so, yeah, kind of all of that. Start measuring impact in your life. When I measure my impact currently, it's like, I'm not impacting people how I know I was put here to impact people, but I know I can. And so I'm working towards that every day. So that's how you can start applying it to your life. Measure impact, how you impact yourself and how you impact other people. On that note, thank you guys for listening. Hope you liked this episode. The message is to do what impacts people in business. We talked a lot about business, but also in life. And that's where your demeanor comes in. Like you impact people when you smile at them, when you give them a kind word, when you do an act of kindness for them. Any of those things, you are impacting people positively. And if you do the antithesis, you're impacting people negatively. So you can measure your impact outside of business. In fact, most of your impact will be outside of business. How you interact with your family, how you interact with your friends, how you interact with strangers, homeless people on the street, whatever it may be. The like impact that runs the deepest typically happens in the smallest moments. Like you do a small thing that you probably wouldn't think twice about, but that's exactly what that person needed at that moment. So measure impact in your life. Hope you guys like this episode. As we always ask, shoot this podcast to 1 to 3 people you know need to hear this message. Go ahead and give us a 5-star review on iTunes and check out the Creative Dealmakers Mastermind on workwithtimmydouglas.com, where We are helping people make creative deals that will take them towards their dream life. And on that note, we're out.